This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Keishla Adderley, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. Topping the news tonight, Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis touted the success and stability of the maritime industry in the Bahamas when he addressed a reception on the sidelines of UN talks today. As World Maritime Day is observed, the Prime Minister continued to use the opportunity to promote a business-friendly environment to the world. Here's Altavi's Munnings.
With a world-class passenger ship fleet of over 140 cruise ships and a ship registry of 1,570 ships, totaling over 64 million gross tons, that places the Bahamas on every corner of the globe, Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis congratulated officials and staff members of the Bahamas Maritime Authority for successfully promoting the country's maritime industry around the world. At a reception Wednesday night at the Metropolitan Club in New York City, Prime Minister Minnis boasted on the present accomplishments of the Bahamas' maritime sector.
The largest percentage of ship types on the registry are, in fact, tankers, over 27%, followed by general cargo, bulk carriers, and offshore vessels, each accounting for over 15% of the ship type on the registry. The common thread between the owners and managers of these ships and the BMA is that they share a commitment to maintaining the highest level of safety, security, and environmental standards. The development and enforcement of such standards is critical to ensuring an international level playing field.
Prime Minister Minnis acknowledged that his government is mindful of the modern changes in the maritime industry, and he says there needs to be updated legislation to accommodate this.
The vision of the Bahamas Merchant Shipping Act is ongoing. We are also mindful of the challenges of constant change and innovation. And the Bahamas will continue to support the IMO's effort to improve working methods in order to facilitate efficient delivery of modern regulations. We will continue to advocate for the simplification and rationalization of regulations and guidelines. I am pleased to advise that the Bahamas has achieved Quail Ship 21 status in relation to the port state inspection of its ships arriving in U.S. ports. Bahamas also has a low-risk ships non-targeted profile in the Paris and Tokyo MOU, representing ships calling in European and Asian ports, respectively.
Prime Minister Minnis made it clear that his government is committed to ensuring that the maritime industry in the Bahamas is fully promoted around the world. Reporting from New York City, I'm Altavi's Munnings, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, the Bahamas stating its position on non-communicable diseases during the United Nations high-level meeting on the issue today. More than 100 countries weighed in on the matter. Member of Parliament for St. Barnabas, Shannon Don Cartwright, made his UN debut, delivering the Bahamas statement. He told our news team that the appointment of Minister of Health, Dr. Dwayne Sands, as president of the Directing Council of the Pan American Health Organization will lead the country's mandate, lowering the cases of non-communicable diseases.
In the Bahamas, as you may be aware, 60% of Bahamians have 3 or more risk factors associated with NCDs, and 42% of Bahamian children are either overweight or obese. Those numbers reflect the urgency of the moment for the international community and indeed the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. We are committed and determined and added both of those determinations and commitments to the international community's overall priority to reduce premature mortality by 1/3 by 2030. So the Commonwealth of the Bahamas joins with the international community in trying to deal with the scourge of NCDs.
Well, back here at home, Parliament taking steps to ensure improved accountability and transparency in the management of the country's financial affairs. During proceedings in the House of Assembly this morning, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honourable Peter Turnquest, led off debate on the new Fiscal Responsibility Bill. The legislation sets guidelines for this and future government spending and accountability for public funds. The legislation is due to take effect October 1st.
With this bill, gone will be the days of reckless government spending, irresponsible fiscal management, and unbridled deficit financing and debt buildup. The law will force our government and the future governments to achieve the deficit objectives that it set out. Clearly, the stringent fiscal requirements of this legislation are groundbreaking in the affairs of our nation.
Now, the legislation also paves the way for the establishment of a Fiscal Responsibility Council and has stringent reporting protocols attached.
The long-term debt objective is to reduce debt to no more than 50% of GDP. The fiscal balance is to be reduced to no more than 0.5% of GDP from fiscal year 2020-21 onwards. To allow a transition to the latter objective, the fiscal balance shall not exceed 1.8% of GDP in 2018-19, which, as I indicated earlier, we have set our budget to achieve.
Deputy Leader of the Progressive Liberal Party and Member of Parliament for Exuma and Ragged Island, Chester Cooper, supports the bill but says he has a number of concerns over it.
The absence of economic studies to support the path to this supposed fiscal balance is most concerning. The bill arbitrarily locks us into targets without offering data and analysis to support this. In the absence of this data, the Parliament could be asked to push the country into a deeper recession. The government also needs to be clear on which deficit target they are now adopting.
Stakeholders in the tourism industry met at the British colonial Hilton today to mark World Tourism Day, a day which recognizes the impact the industry has on national economies. In commemoration of the occasion, officials hosted a one-day Bahama Host 40th Anniversary Symposium under the theme Training to Protect Our Culture and Heritage by Integrating Digital Technology. In her keynote address, Director General of Tourism, Joy Jibrilu, stressed the importance of stakeholders utilizing technology.
We find that this is how we are marketing more and more and more through our social channels, through the creation of stories that tell the genuine story of our various islands. It's been cost effective. It's been a great way to enable us to tell the stories of 16 individual islands in the way that perhaps a television campaign was not able to capture in 30 seconds. And so how do we use these tools? We also know that it's a quick way to get feedback from persons, whether good, whether bad. So influencers and bloggers and writers who we bring to the islands of the Bahamas to tell stories to their influencers. When they tell the stories, the spin-off and the good effect is that their followers say, I want to go to those places.
Well, apart from technology, which can instantly make or break a destination, Jibrilu is urging stakeholders to focus on giving world-class customer service, and that's why the Bahama Host program and offerings similar to that are critical to the sector's success.
When the visitor sees authentically Bahamian art and craft, hear authentic Bahamian music, Junkanoo, our dialect, taste and smell authentically Bahamian cuisine, and touch our beaches and ocean, the response should always be resounding. It is better in the Bahamas. I am particularly pleased that Bahama Host has just recently rebranded to bring all tourism stakeholders who benefit from the program up to date with developing trends. The program equips each participant with the skills and know-how to deliver such quality of service that our guests should be blown away.
Meantime, the Director General says the Bahamas is poised to be the destination of choice for meetings, incentive conferences, and other events. She says one of those reasons is the country's proximity to the U.S., noting the huge growth potential in this market and the positive results. The Director General confirmed that efforts have been ramped up to push more business in this area. In fact, next week, the Bahamas will host the State of the Tourism Industry Conference, which is the largest Caribbean tourism conference on the calendar.
People are blown away by all the meeting spaces that are available, so both at Baha Mar and Atlantis. But I want to take it further. We're finding that our family islands are also proving popular for group business. Bimini at the Hilton, they have capacity for small meetings. People love it because it ticks all the boxes. They can have meetings in a space that overlooks this beautiful water, but they have the fishing, the diving, and everything else that goes with it. Exuma is also proving to be popular. Grand Bahama's always been popular, and their group, their meeting facilities have always been open, and we continue to push business there.
Well, still ahead tonight, the central bank rolls out its new $20 note. That story and more when the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6, returns.
You can count on me. Just call me and I'll come.
My first memory of music would have been a performance when everyone was singing the song. The song was drop down and come up slow, and everyone in the crowd was singing. I was amazed. I was in shock.
I did not always want to be a performer, you know. I actually wanted to be a doctor, and when I was on my way to med school, I had this whole epiphany, and I went to Berkeley College of Music, and that's when I made the switch.
If I weren't singing, I'd be singing. I love track and field.
Many different things inspire me. You know, it isn't anything specific. It's just, you know, just enjoying the environment, and that's what I think music should be about, being free.
Tap of a button, I'm able to get in contact with persons all the way across the world. Technology acts as that bridge that keeps me connected.
BTC in one word, I would have to say clutch.
Connected with family.
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 Every day. Deciding on which car to buy? Hard. Getting an auto loan? Easy. Negotiating the price? Hard. Getting the money to pay for it? Easy. Get an easy auto loan from Commonwealth Bank. Super low rates, fast 24-hour approval, no loan fee, and no payments for 2 months. So come to Commonwealth Bank, and your next car is easy. Call today.
This portion of the news brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking.
In news from the crime beat tonight, police in Long Island's looking into a traffic fatality there. Reports are that just after 2 p.m. Wednesday afternoon, a male was driving a blue 2008 Honda Accord in the area of Mackenzie Hill, Hard Bargain, when he lost control of the vehicle and crashed into a concrete wall. Medical personnel rushed to the scene but were unable to revive the victim. He was expected, or rather traffic officers expected to travel to the island to conduct further investigations. A couple arraigned in the magistrate's court this afternoon on firearm and ammunition charges. 37-year-old Jamaican national Neil Quarry and his wife, who is 5 months pregnant, 32-year-old Bahamian Rosalind Quarry of Spring City, Abaco, both pleaded not guilty to the charges. Police allegedly discovered an unlicensed 9mm firearm and live rounds of ammunition in their possession 2 days ago. Both defendants were remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections. The case is adjourned to December 4th. On Tuesday, ZNS News aired a story by Dr. Derek Pinder, a neuropathic practitioner, who claimed that he's seeing a great correlation between prostate cancer in men and the combination of eating conch salad and drinking the Guinness beverage. He said the beer had a chemical and the conch an enzyme, which when combined, he believed seemed to contribute to prostate cancer. Well, he did not provide data to support this belief. A number of doctors contacted ZNS News disputing Pinder's claim. claims, and with no evidence to back up Dr. Pinder's claims, ZNS News hereby apologizes to our viewers and Commonwealth Brewery, the distributor of Guinness, for allowing the airing of this claim. Again, ZNS News sincerely apologizes to our viewers and sponsors who may have been offended by that story. Agriculture Minister, the Honorable Michael Pintar, delivering a State of the Ministry address, asking his team members if they were in. He was addressing the 500 staff members under his portfolio during a special gathering at the Gladstone Road Expo site. In his motivational style, the minister challenged them to work together for the good of the ministry. He says in unity, they can only achieve greatness.
A part of our mission is to break down the silos that exist between various departments. The truth is, there's a tremendous amount of duplication of services. BOMC, PAIC, the Department of Agriculture are engaging in much of the same things. Three areas: planting, harvesting. Three areas involved in food processing or with intention of being involved in food processing. So we intend, through a collaborative way, through mature discussions, to work out how we can determine who is best suited to do what. And we prefer to do it in a collaborative way, because the truth is we have a mandate to do it, and we'd rather people come not kicking and screaming, but in a very collaborative way.
Minister Pintar also told staff to think of the mission they are on in bringing down that huge food import bill. He says agriculture only contributes to a small portion of the GDP, and there's lots of room to grow.
It's a low bar right now. People don't expect much from us. But we can shock the country. In fact, we can create a movement where through backyard farming, front yard farming, school farming, commercial farming, farmers market that's run by farmers and cooperatives. All right. Our role is as facilitators. That's what we are. We are facilitators.
The Central Bank of the Bahamas is continuing its rollout of the crisp new Evolution banknote, unveiling the new $20 bill at the ceremony held last evening. The new currency again features Sir Milo Butler, the first Bahamian Governor General. Members of his family were on hand and were presented with framed sheets of the new banknote. They were also presented with the very first of the new $20 bills printed. Governor of the Central Bank, John Roll, explained the new look.
This sleek, modern banknote is predominantly magenta in color, with shades of pink, green, orange, blue, and yellow. Embedded in this design is the rich history of a nation. Adorning the front is the image of a pirate ship floating in the background to the replica map of the islands of the Bahamas, flora and fauna, and the image of Sir Milo Butler. On the back, national landmarks are on display.
Now, Roll says the note that is the latest in the series the Central Bank intends to unveil exemplifies the bank's commitment to staying true to the Bahamian culture while improving the aesthetic, security, and durability of banknotes. He says the bank also unveils a new app.
To complement the release of the $20 banknote and the online banknote training tool deployed last year, today the Central Bank is also pleased to release its banknote app. Like the online training tool, the app includes a detailed tutorial on the security features of the $20 note that could be used to assist members of the general public with identifying this and other authentic banknote series. This is the first iteration of the app, which may be downloaded from the Apple and the Google App Stores, and it also includes tutorials on the recently released $1 and $10 denominations.
Well, that does it for this segment of news. Stay tuned, though. Jonathan Benson is straight ahead with sports.
That portion of the news was brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, the leader in personal banking services.
When Reggie heard about the new KFC Value Bucket with yesterday's classics, he said, I'm going to groove an Afro hairstyle, get dressed up, get the car, grab my girl, and remember those good old days. And so he did. Here, got dressed, the car and his girl. Reggie realized that everything has changed except the irresistible taste of KFC. Enjoy a meal of the chicken you love for only $20. The new Value Bucket at KFC Nassau. It's finger-licking good.
What if you looked in the mirror and saw something different? A small difference, a big difference. What if that difference changed your life forever? What if it caused you to question your beauty? Your body may change, a small change, a big change, but your life is defined by your interior, not your exterior. I felt, I called, I tested, I acted. I won. I am the cure, a living story of survival. Be the cure. Live the life you love and love the life you live. At 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center, your life matters.
Casablanca. Come into our showroom today and check out our sleek new line of Casablanca all-white, modern, stylish cabinets for your kitchen. And all during the month of September, get 20% off Casablanca all-white kitchen cabinets with soft closing drawers and doors. Available only at Connet Nassau and Abaco locations. For more information, call 394-5865. Casablanca.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. Team Bahamas left town today for Tobago and the Carifta Triathlon Championships. Angela Knowles is a part of the team, and she spoke about the hardest part of the competition.
It's cycling because I just learned how to ride a bike a couple months ago, and then practice, and then I went in my first triathlon. I did fall down a few times, but the second one was better after lots of practice, so the cycling.
So how does it feel making the Carifta team?
I'm excited, and it's something else that I get to do, and not a lot of people get to do it because of money-wise, and not all people are athletic like me.
How do you think you're going to do when you head down in Tobago?
I believe in myself. I'm going to try to do my best, but as long as my family and friends are with me, I believe I'm going to do great.
Mixed results for Team Bahamas on day 4 of the Chess Olympiad in the Republic of Georgia. Our ladies team won 3 of the 4 points against Palau thanks to women's candidate master Deja Johnson, Antoinette Seymour, and Erica Seymour. The news not so good for our open team. They failed to get on the board against Andorra. Next up for our ladies tomorrow in round 5 will be Paraguay. The open squad takes on Uganda. The Government Basketball League best of 3 first-round playoffs continuing last night at the AF Adelaide Gym. 6th-seeded Department of Correction Challengers getting off to a fast start in the feature game against the 3rd-seeded Police Royals. But the Royals prove it's not about how you start, but how you finish. Royals win big 97-71 to take a 1-0 series lead. Dion McPhee leading 6 Royals in double figures, 23 points and 10 rebounds. Leslie Wilson had 18 points. Stephen Miller, 16 points, 11 boards. While Spurgeon Johnson, Leslie Dorseyville, and the crafty veteran Chevy Simmons all had 11 points. The challengers led by Vance McPhee's 21. Kyle Wilson followed with 17. LaSalle Thompson also in double figures with 13. As for last night's opener, the situation much the same. The 7th-seeded Police Crime Stoppers hung around early with the 2nd-seeded Cybots, but down the stretch, the Cybots showed their championship pedigree, putting away the game 85-69. The Cybots got 15 points from Eugene Bain. Jason Colley chipping in with 13. Kadario Pinder had a double-double, 12 points and 12 rebounds. Game 2 in both series set for Saturday night. Trios on the lanes today at the Pan American Bowling Federation's Women's Championship in the Dominican Republic. Driscoll Roll, Janice Hoyt and Tara Johnson teaming together, and they finished 14th in the 17-team field. 3,129 pins and a 174 average. Some bad luck for the other Bahamian side as Camille Roll was unavailable after blowing out her knee during the doubles competition yesterday. Marina McLean and Zania Johnson would end up with 1,996 pins and a 111 average. The team competition will bring the event to a close tomorrow. Individually, after singles, doubles, and trios, Driscoll still the top Bahamian in 31st place, 3,449 pins and a 192 average. The Financial Bowling League was back on the lanes last night at Mario's. Top scorer on the night was Hugh Lahana of the BTC Nighthawks, a 226 high game and a 583 three-game set. Runner-up was Marciara McDonald of the Strike Force with a 202 game and a 573 set. The MVP for the ladies was Uchenna Delva of Deloitte & Touche, a 223 game and a 577 set. Delva was followed by Joy Lockhart of BTC and Kayla Nixon of our very own ZNS Hill Thrillers. They tied for a 557 set. Lockhart also downing the pins for a 202 game. Team scores saw our Best Deal Kirky Bar shutting out the Rubis Oil Stars. Deloitte & Touche won 2-1 over BTC. ZNS also a 2-1 win over the Moonlight Strikers. Leno Corporate Services in the win column as well, 2-1 over the Strike Force. Kevin Major Jr. losing in the opening round of the main draw at the Los Cabos Futures Tennis Classic in California. This one went the three-set distance, with American Govan Nadan coming out on top 6-4, 4-6, and 6-4. Game 6 of the Province Softball Association's Men's Championship set for 8 o'clock tonight. The defending champion CNS Hitman will be without their ace Alcott Forbes, who will have to sit out after being ejected for arguing balls and strikes in Game 5. And the Commanders of City Truckers feel that's the recipe for success as they try to tie the series at 3 games apiece.
I think that does work in our favor, knowing that basically the ace pitcher who was putting up some numbers on us on his end, I think that works in our favor. We should be okay.
The pressure isn't on us. We've been there before. We've been down before. Came back and won a series. Backdoor sweep. Right now, the ball's still in our park. We still have one. Right now, through the training of the team, we've been working on pressure situation, knowing how to handle these things. We didn't talk about these situations just in case it occur. So this type of situation is no surprise to the team.
Without the Alcott there, what do you do?
Yeah, right now we got pitchers on the team. We got Marty available. We got Kieran available. We got several other pitchers available. So if we have to go use all of them, we'll have to do that.
That is your first look at sports. Don't go anywhere. First at 6 is back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Comedy from the day I was born, and I look up and I saw who my parents was. I know my life is gonna be interesting.
The Bahamian people inspire me, like 100%.
I think the keys of the success to the band Visage has been the ability to stay relevant for the many years that the band has been around.
Technology, it keeps me connected.
What technology have done for me is priceless.
I don't know how I would be able to survive without it.
If I would describe BTC into one word, I would say innovative.
Family all around. Communications lifeblood of the Bahamas.
Every day. Hey, have you heard? ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Whether you're on the move or just kicking back. Miss something on the news? It's there. Want to keep up with a live update? It's there. Or just want to listen to your favorite station? It's there too. Download the app now from the App Store and Google Play Store.
Time now for weather.
In our first look at weather, Kirk is now moving through the Windward Islands. Maximum sustained winds around 50 miles per hour, moving toward the west-northwest at about 14 miles per hour. That position now puts it about 85 miles northwest of Barbados. And then we have Leslie up there in the central Atlantic. It's fastly becoming well organized, could become a subtropical storm, even a tropical storm sometime within the next 24 to 36 hours. A 90% chance of that happening. Outside of our studios, we have partly cloudy skies, temperature 86 degrees, your relative humidity at 65%, southeast winds at 12 miles per hour, your barometric pressure 1,015.7 millibars, it's 29.99 inches, and it is steady. That's going to do it for your first look at weather. Stay tuned, more weather is still to come.
Thanks, Baz. Well, that does it for us. And first at 6, stay tuned, though. The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition is straight ahead.
Economy by a local financial institution. A local doctor suspecting arson to his property. And in the middle, set to return to the big stage this weekend.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Roll-Parkinson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, a financial institution in the Grand Bahama community following through on a commitment to the people of Grand Bahama. The Grand Bahama Cooperative Credit Union has opened a second branch in the Port Lakai Marketplace, all in an effort to provide more services to their members. On Wednesday evening, a grand celebration was held. Italia Hall was there.
Government officials, members of the credit union, employees, and persons throughout the community were all in attendance to witness the momentous occasion. Treasurer of the Grand Bahama Cooperative Credit Union, John Sands Jr., sharing some of the company's statistics to date, noting that the organization was one of the first credit unions to be established outside of New Providence some 38 years ago.
The Grand Bahama Cooperative Credit Union has been successful in increasing its assets from a very humble and modest beginning to where it stands today at $20 million. And we've increased our member owners from that small beginning to numbering now some 2,750. So we're very pleased with that.
Secretary of the Bahamas Cooperative League, Walter Evans, says to date, the financial institution has the lowest delinquency rate out of all the credit unions in the Bahamas.
Grand Bahamas Credit Union has a delinquency of less than 1%, which is far below the standards. And so each month as we sit at the Cooperative Credit Union in Nassau, the parent body for credit unions in our country, we always marvel at the fact of how Grand Bahama is able to do it, despite the fact that some say that the economy is sluggish. They are doing an exceptional job.
Keynote speaker, Deputy Prime Minister K. Peter Turnquest, commending the credit union for their commitment to the community, noting that the credit union offers the same services as commercial banks.
This is one of a few new businesses added over the past few months. And I think I've been here 3 times this month alone. You know, I said on another occasion that if y'all are not careful, y'all are going to shake this reputation that Grand Bahama has as being in the doldrums, the poster child for failure, where people go to lose their money. Grand Bahama is picking up.
He says this new move by the credit union indicates that they have some visionary leaders, applauding them for taking the challenge to open a branch in the Port Lakai Marketplace, knowing the condition of the Grand Lucayan Resort property that is just across the street. He says this is all a part of why the government made the decision to purchase the hotel.
To leave it dormant or stagnant will mean continued hardship in Grand Bahama. the action that the government has taken will give all of us Grand Bahamians an opportunity for economic growth.
Following the ceremony, the celebration continued with a Junkanoo rush out. It's Halia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, details of the government's plan to fix Grand Bahama's economy was revealed in Parliament by the Marco City MPs during his contribution on a resolution for the government to purchase the Grand Lucayan Resort. Sabrina Brown reports.
The government's decision to purchase the Grand Lucayan Resort is said to be a major move in reviving the island's economy. Member of Parliament for Marco City, Michael Pintard, says they are aware that this will not fix all of Grand Bahama's problems, and he says the government is focused on other areas as well. He says lowering landing fees in order to increase airlift to this island is vital.
The pressure I feel is the pressure that we have as a government to help lower the cost of landing in Grand Bahama. It is entirely too expensive to land in Grand Bahama. It is often less expensive to fly past Grand Bahama to other places in the region. And this is a mission that this administration has accepted, and it is a discussion that we are now engaged, and we are working in earnest to make a difference. So even with a hotel sold, we are under no illusion that that is a part of the macro plan to transform Grand Bahama.
He says the government is also working to lower the cost of electricity on Grand Bahama.
The discussion of renewable energy is alive, that there is a need both in Grand Bahama with a private company and in the rest of the Bahamas with BPL, that we look at self-generation as a means of helping our residents survive and thrive in this country.
As the government moves forward with the redevelopment of Grand Bahama, Pintard is encouraging residents to prepare themselves for the opportunities that lie ahead.
We hope that Bahamian entrepreneurs would step to the fore so that they are given more than serious consideration to acquire a piece of what dominates this economy, and that is a piece of the rock that they can own and run hotels, because truly we are as talented as anyone else anywhere else in the world.
He's calling on residents to keep the faith.
And even on days you don't have faith in me or my colleagues or the side opposite, at least have faith in God. Because when we fall short, whenever we fall short, God has the capacity to meet you at your darkest moment, in the loneliest of places, to stand in the gap, to be your shield and buckler.
Preach up in here, man.
And so we will do our best.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Thank you, Sabrina. Well, hundreds of thousands of dollars going up in smoke, and the owner of the property says arson is suspected. Tonight, a popular Freeport physician is making a plea for anyone with information regarding the recent fire to come forward. Jay Philippe has more.
For the second time this year, Dr. Rupai's property has been targeted. The popular physician says he came to his clinic as usual on Tuesday morning around 7 o'clock to open the doors of business. But upon his arrival, he could smell the smoke in the building and decided to inspect the property. He says that is when he found his storage facility to the rear of the clinic completely burnt.
I am only presuming or assuming, but this was not the first fire. We had another fire somewhat earlier in which someone had tried to actually burn down the clinic. Again, the police have never found anyone who actually did it.
Dr. Rupai says that the fire resulted in the loss of over $300,000 in music and medical equipment.
We had, through the benefit of Bishop Godfrey R. Williams of Jubilee, a donation of $12,000 worth of medical equipment, and through Cleveland Clinic, they donated a lot of medical supplies to us, and they were stored in here. All the chairs were brand new, and I had just done some over $2,000 in renovations, music equipment, a 24-deck mixer for the sound in the building, and a huge speaker system. I meant to take it out myself the night before because I like to do music, and all of that was lost.
Dr. Rupai says he's puzzled as to why someone would intentionally try to target him or his property.
I am a generous person. As you know, in 2014, I gave to the poor and needy $1 million in cash. I've given over 20 cars to various individuals. And just a few weeks ago, I gave $26,000 at Shiloh Seventh-day Adventist Church. Not to the church, but to people who attended in the parking lot. So I'm not aware of why anyone would intentionally set fire to my building.
Dr. Rupa said that this building right behind me was completely uninsured, and if anyone has any answers as to what would have happened Tuesday morning, please feel free to reach out to him. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Jay Philippe.
In news from the crime beat, a substantial amount of suspected marijuana discovered at the Grand Bahama shipyard. Police tell us that officers of the Drug Enforcement Unit and officers of the Central Detective Unit were called to the Grand Bahama shipyard around noon yesterday, where they discovered a metal container with 38 wrapped packages of suspected marijuana attached to the bottom of a cargo vessel. Now, the suspected marijuana weighed some 86 pounds with a street value of $86,000. No one was arrested and investigations are continuing. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news right after this break.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Dolly Madison, Freeport's original home center.
You name it, and Dolly's got it in the bag. That means they have it all. Gorgeous rooms to go furniture and accessories. Radio Shack electronics and musician supplies. Ace hardware and housewares. Whirlpool and GE appliances. Ace paint and supplies. The Garden Center. We have thousands of items to choose from to make your home run. And Dolly Madison is committed to providing you with quality name brand products at great everyday savings. Yes, Dolly Madison Home Center's got it in the bag.
Grand Bahama plan to attend Live Life Free Faith and Finances with Lisa Nichols. Get your tickets today at Cash and Go.
Our customers tell us every day, if you can't find it anywhere else, you can find it at Bullard's Plumbing and Supplies. Thousands of plumbing products, pipes, faucets, kitchen sinks, bathtubs, toilets, and more. Our licensed plumbers also specialize in repairs and installation on residential and commercial buildings. While you're there, check out Seasons Home Decor. We have something to suit every taste. Wall art, flowers, lamps, vases, decorative pieces, all at competitive prices. Located at West Atlanta Drive, telephone number 351-2900. Open Monday through Saturday. Bullard's Plumbing and Supplies, where professionals go to shop.
Backed by popular demand, In the Middle. Saturday, September 29th at 8 p.m. and Sunday, September 30th, 4 p.m. at the Regency Theater. Don't miss this episode of Eye on Health as Dr. Ash and guests discuss the topic
stress. We are going to examine stress and give as much information as we can give with references on how to deal with stress.
As I got better physically, I just realized that I was in a constant feeling of fear. And for those of you who are not familiar with anxiety, that's pretty much what it is, fear.
That's Eye on Health this Friday at 8 p.m. Stay informed on your local weather forecast this 2018 hurricane season. Your #1 news station, the ZNS Television Network. We've got you covered. Covering the Northern Bahamas, you're watching The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. It's being dubbed as one of the best stage plays of the year. And In the Middle will be back this weekend for an encore production. Co-owner of Identity Productions, Samantha Forbes, says that the play depicts 6 married couples who are dealing with various issues, from money problems to infidelity troubles. She's encouraging the Grand Bahamian community who may be looking for a well-written, fun play that includes real-life situations to attend this final showing.
We are in a time where a lot of marriages are going through. And let's keep it real, it's life. It's life. and you have a lot of issues, and no one is prone to or exempt from dealing with issues in any type of relationship. And so I think the thing about this play is that it's real. It's very, very real. Anyone coming to see it, I'm sure can relate to something in the play. And because of the realness, and because you see how the couples eventually come to a place of resolve, some do, some don't. You know, everyone can realize, hey, it's not just me. This isn't isolated to me, and you don't have to feel so, some people feel condemned. Some people feel like they're failures, and you're not. You know, we live in a world where we have issues, relationships have issues. The world we're living in is not an easy world, and so we're faced with all of these challenges.
Now, the play was written by Forbes some 10 years ago, and the production, she says, began in the four walls of their church. But since bringing the play to the wider community, she says she has received so much positive feedback.
I remember we were putting flyers out one day on a vehicle, and this lady came out. She was getting ready to go into church, and she was like, "That's my husband. What you showed there, I live in that. I'm living that." She said he's a preacher, and he wasn't interested in doing anything besides church. And so they had no type of intimacy beyond just church. And then I had other gentleman who I just saw last week, as a matter of fact, and he said, you know, his ex-wife, he went out, he saw the play, and his ex-wife, I guess, at some point saw the play that weekend as well. And she called him up the following week crying, saying, "I'm so sorry. That's what you were saying to me all along. I didn't realize that's what you were dealing with," because, you know, she saw an issue that they were dealing with, and she really was the problem.
Now, in the middle stage play starts at the Regency Theater at 8 p.m. on Saturday, and on Sunday the play starts promptly at 4 p.m. For more information, you can visit their social media pages at i.d.entity productions. And members of a local Junkanoo group are preparing to bring Junkanoo to the people of Grand Bahama every weekend. Starting this Sunday, the Swingers Junkanoo group, in conjunction with the Downtown Freeport Business Association, will host a Sunday rush out in the downtown area. Representative Yolanda Hanna says this is something that residents should be a part of.
It's a showcase of culture, entertainment, revitalization for the downtown area. And we're just so happy to finally have something in the downtown area where we can celebrate our culture and have people come and just have a great time. You know, it's happening on a Sunday. A lot of times we're looking for things to do on a Sunday. And so the DFBA was so happy when the Swingers approached us and said to us, listen, we want to do something in the downtown area. We want to rush it out. We want someplace for Grand Bahama to come and hang out.
Coordinator of the Swingers Junkanoo Group, Michael Miller, and leader Anthony Huck Williams say spectators can expect a great show.
Bring your children, bring your friends. As a matter of fact, we're inviting other Junkanoo groups to come out every Sunday. All right, we are promoting culture. We're trying to educate persons on Junkanoo is just not just something you see on the road New Year's Day. We want you to see exactly where it started from. Listen to our practices. Watch our choreograph section. Listen to the brass. We want to bring Awaki downtown.
I think it's very important for the Downtown Association to partner with the Swingers so we could, both of us together can put some kind of effort into downtown. It was happening in Freeport. So it's just an idea come to mind from the Swingers to partner with the vendors down here. So with the efforts from both of us, we could try to see what type of life we could interject in Grand Bahama in Freeport downtown.
Now, the Sunday rush out will take place at the Old Winn-Dixie parking lot. That's downtown Freeport. And now it is time to ask the doctor.
I'm Dr. Monique Pratt. Welcome. Miguel asked, as a single father, how can I talk to my teenage daughter about sex? Thanks for asking such an important question, Miguel. Sex can be extremely difficult for a father and daughter to discuss, but it is something that must be talked about openly and honestly. The subject of sex is something that cannot be avoided, as it is commonly displayed in some sort in news, entertainment, and advertising. Waiting for the perfect moment isn't realistic, and you might end up missing the best opportunities. Here are some ideas that can help you get started. First, seize the moment. When a program or music video raises issues about responsible sexual behavior, use it as a trigger for discussion. Always be honest and direct. Clearly state your feelings or specific issues, such as homosexuality. Always talk about the risks, which include emotional pain, sexually transmitted infections, and unplanned pregnancies. If you don't know how to answer your teens' questions, offer to find the answers for them or look them up together. Make sure that you consider your teens' point of view. Try not to lecture them or use scare tactics to discourage sexual activity. Instead, listen to them carefully and try to understand their challenges, concerns, and pressures. You should also let your teen know it's okay to talk about sex or whenever they have a question or concern. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Seven & Chalk was in the business for the past 4 decades now. I've worked with them half of my life. Very nice store. They carry a lot of nice products. And ladies, right now, you need to come down because we just started the 70%. So come and check us out. We have everything you need, from jeans, church dresses, work pants, short pants, long dresses, short dresses. Come check us out. You can't miss it, and you can't beat the price. We're located downtown in the 17th Center, opposite the post office. Our phone number is 352-6869. The hours are 9:30 to 6, Monday to Thursday, 9:30 to 7, Friday to Saturday.
Come on down at the 17 shop.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Freeport Jewelers in Port Lucaya. Fashion starts here.
Hi, I'm Wes. I like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I would like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet. September is another month for a hurricane. Plan ahead with solar systems and lights. Solar Up Bahamas, giving you free power throughout the Bahamas. Call 727-4237.
Business owners are excited about ZNS Northern Service Storm Central Hurricane Packages because advertising rates are discounted up to 50%. That's right, get 50% off advertising packages this hurricane season from now through November 30th. Call our sales department at 351-3430 or 352-9713 and book your advertising package today.
More Makeup by Megan Coakley. When you want to look like a star. Phone 443-7979.
ZNS Total Sports, bringing you excitement, entertainment, energy, pure sports.
We're keeping you updated on all the sports happening in the Northern Bahamas, whether it's soccer
or even the latest results with American football or flag football.
Covering baseball, softball, you name it, we'll cover it. Good evening all, welcome to another edition of Sports. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Topping sports this evening, the Grand Bahama Amateur Baseball Association is seeking your assistance as they are hoping to take some 70 children to a baseball tournament in Palm Beach, Florida. Tournament director for the Amateur Baseball Association, Carl Nordich, says that he believes this tournament can yield great results for the Bahamian baseball players.
It's a tournament right now that we're using as a stepping ground towards getting some exposure for our kids. As you know, great baseball is really growing in the Bahamas right right now, and we're trying to do everything we can to give the kids as much exposure as possible. With the older boys, we have some of the open division. That division, we're hoping that they're seen and get the exposure, that the scouts will be able to see them, and hopefully have a couple of them get drafted based on their performance in this tournament.
The tournament director has been involved with the development of baseball in the Bahamas for the past 21 years. He says during that time, he's seen tremendous growth in the baseball league. Nottage says the more exposure the Bahamian baseball players get, the better their chances in being drafted.
At this point, the parents is basically funding the entire tournament, as the league at this point, is a voluntary league. So all funding that comes through the league, we need agent assistance at this time to try and assist these teams in going off. There's going to be quite a number of pro sports, pro scouts that's going to be there. So at this point, we'd really love to give them kids this opportunity.
14-year-old Courtney Meadows says he's looking forward to traveling and gaining the exposure.
We have a lot of practice, but then you don't have enough time to see what happens in the real game. It's not much live game.
The student of Bishop Michael Eldon says that he believes Team Bahamas will do well in the tournament.
No competition, they can't beat us, but it's just more games, they have more fundamentals and stuff.
Now the tournament is called World Comes to Palm Beaches and is scheduled for November 1st through 4th. The Ruby Hills Walkers group scores are in with Pro Emarcus Hills shooting a 1 under 35 and earned 3 points. Hanford Bain was 2 shots back with a 1 over 37. Mark Knowles shot a 3 over 39 playing 9 holes at the Fortune Hills Golf Course. Hanford Bain birdied the 2nd and 7th holes. Mark Knowles birdied number 4, Perry Cooper number 1, and Leonardo Russell hole number 5. With only 7 rounds to play, Hanford Bain leads the group with 65.33 points. Fenton Skillet Russell 53.99 points, and the Pro Emarcus Hill has 53 points heading into the tee box Friday at Fortune Hills. And that's your check on sports. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Until next time, make it a great one.
News is brought to you by Steppin' Out. Satisfy your style habits with shoes for every occasion. Steppin' Out, when you want to put your best foot forward.
Pizza Hut's Back to School Special. Get a large 1-topping pizza, 5 cheesy breadsticks, and a 2-liter drink for just $19.99. That inclusive at Pizza Hut downtown and Sunrise Highway. The perfect meal at the perfect time. Pizza Hut's Back to School Special. A large 1-topping pizza, cheesy breadsticks, and a 2-liter drink, just $19.99. Or get 2 medium 2-topping pizzas with any crust, any day, just $8.99 each. For the love of pizza. Pizza Hut.
KMW Battery and Tire Sales is offering oil change special for just $49.99 plus VAT. Includes oil and filter. KMW is located on West Settlers Way.
Everywhere you go, they'll just talk about VAT. Man, I need a break. You know what? I'm going to watch some of those Dolphins rerun. I love to watch the Dolphins get beat. Watching Marlon hit about 4 home runs on it.
It's amazing you mentioned home run, because here at Island Betting, we have a Grand Slam special going on right now. All bases are loaded, up to $500 in savings on beds and bedroom sets. We're bringing it home to you, Dr. Love.
It's time to win, win, win at Island Betting. The experts in comfort.
Generation Y is celebrating its first anniversary. I'm Natalia Hall, and for the past year, we've been bringing you stories of outstanding young people. If you know someone who deserves recognition, or if you have a suggestion, send us an email. Let's continue to promote our young people and show why this generation is so unique.
When a hurricane watch or warning is issued, medical emergency services are placed on high alert. For many persons seeking medical care, defining what an emergency is can be difficult to assess given all that is occurring during the storm. The following basic guidelines are designed to help you assess your emergency. If you are experiencing symptoms like shortness of breath, chest pain, severe pain, disorientation, extreme vomiting or diarrhea, vision disturbance, or suicidal thoughts, you should seek immediate medical assistance. If you are bleeding significantly or otherwise severely injured, seek emergency assistance immediately. Children presenting with symptoms like high fever and extremely listless or lethargic behavior need to be taken to the emergency room immediately. If you are unsure of the extent of your condition, you are advised to seek medical assistance immediately. Share your symptoms with the on-call doctor and get advice as to whether or not it can wait until normal business hours. Remember,
to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team, I'm Shoshina Roll-Farquharson. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report. Parliament moves to shore up fiscal responsibility. Charges filed in connection with an Abaco police operation this week. And hear more about Disney's plan to create a happy medium over its proposed Eleuthera development. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kishla Adderley, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Topping the news tonight, Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, has touted the success and stability of the maritime industry in the Bahamas. He was addressing a reception on the sidelines of United Nations talks in New York today. As World Maritime Day is observed, the Prime Minister continued to use the opportunity to promote a business-friendly environment. Here's Altaviz Munnings.
All vehicular and pedestrian traffic outside of the United Nations came to a standstill around 10 o'clock Thursday morning as the long convoy of United States President Donald Trump entered the compound. Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis was among the many individuals who also waited, then walked to the UN headquarters. The Prime Minister was scheduled to deliver the Bahamas' address on non-communicable diseases, but he later gave the opportunity to the Member of Parliament for St. Barnabas, Shannon Cartwright. Prime Minister Minnis remained in the General Assembly to hear addresses from world leaders in the UN General Debate. Accompanying the Prime Minister at the General Assembly Thursday was Bahamas Ambassador to the United States and Permanent Representative to the Organization of American States, His Excellency Sidney Colley. He informed us his trip to the United Nations this week helps him better understand issues affecting the UN.
The United States singled out Venezuela and a number of other countries yesterday. And of course, Cuba and Venezuela hit back in terms of their own national interests. And so the Bahamas has relations with all of them. And so this matter of international diplomacy and geopolitical politics is very important, but it's also very touchy. You have to carve out and be very mindful as a country of what your position is in the international arena.
Ambassador Colley describes his position as the Bahamas ambassador to the United States as a 24-hour job. He says he's in constant discussions with senior government officials of the United States, as well as senior officials of the Organization of American States, since he's the Bahamas' permanent representative to that organization. Ambassador Colley is also the supervisor for all Bahamas consul generals across the United States. Now, he told me that when he returns to Washington, D.C. next week from his visit here in New York this week at the United Nations, he will be holding several bilateral discussions with senior American government officials. One of the priorities on his agenda is discussing the appointment of a United States ambassador to the Bahamas.
The Trump administration have a nominee and have had a nominee for 10 months now. And the nominee came up before the Senate for confirmation hearing, and halfway through, well, maybe not halfway through, but a part of the way through that confirmation hearing, the hearing was aborted. And And I don't want to go any further to speculate on that nomination. I have a meeting when I get back to Washington with two congresspersons. I won't put their name out, and one senator to try to work the system from behind the scenes to see what can be done to get the process up and running again. I'm not sure what the currency is now of the nominee. I'm not sure whether he's still interested. I'm not sure whether his name is still on the table. I'm trying to find out all of those things, but the one thing is we are pursuing vigorously to try to get the appointment of an ambassador from the United States to the Bahamas in short order.
Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis is expected to make a 15-minute national statement on the Bahamas here at the United Nations General Assembly tomorrow morning. Reporting from the United Nations, I'm Altaviz Munnings, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, the Bahamas stating its position on non-communicable diseases during the United Nations high-level meeting on that issue today. More than 100 countries weighed in on the matter. Member of Parliament for St. Barnabas, Shannon Don Cartwright, made his UN debut, delivering the Bahamas statement. He told our news team that the appointment of Minister of Health, Dr. Dwayne Sands, as president of the Directing Council of the Pan American Health Organization will lead the country's mandate, lowering the cases of non-communicable diseases.
In the Bahamas, as you may be aware, 60% of Bahamians have 3 or more risk factors associated with NCDs, and 42% of Bahamian children are either overweight or obese. Those numbers reflect the urgency of the moment for the international community and indeed the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. We are committed and determined and added both of those determinations and commitments to the international community's overall priority to reduce premature mortality by 1/3 by 2030. So the Commonwealth of the Bahamas joins with the international community in trying to deal with the scourge of NCDs.
Now, Cartwright said the trip representing the Bahamas was an honor for him.
That has stood out is the great deal of respect, admiration, and adoration that the world community has for the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And so that was something I was honored to see and to talk about everything that's happening in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and the exchanges that we would want between countries.
The government taking steps to ensure improved accountability and transparency in the management of the country's financial affairs. During proceedings in the House of Assembly this morning, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Peter Turnquest, led off debate on the new Fiscal Responsibility Bill. The legislation sets guidelines for how this and future governments spend and account for public funds. The legislation is expected to take effect October 1st.
With this bill, gone will be the days of reckless government spending, irresponsible fiscal management, and unbridled deficit financing and debt buildup. The law will force our government and the future governments to achieve the deficit objectives that it set out. Clearly, the stringent fiscal requirements of this legislation are groundbreaking in the affairs of our nation.
Well, the legislation also paves the way for the establishment of a Fiscal Responsibility Council and also has stringent reporting protocols attached.
The long-term debt objective is to reduce debt to no more than 50% of GDP. The fiscal balance is to be reduced to no more than 0.5% of GDP from fiscal year 2020-21 onwards. To allow a transition to the latter objective, the fiscal balance shall not exceed 1.8% of GDP in 2018-19, which, as I indicated earlier, we have set our budget to achieve.
In his contribution to the debate on the Fiscal Responsibility Bill, Member of Parliament for South Beach and Education Minister, the Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd, said the legislation will ensure a brighter future for the country's youth. He cited the tuition-free initiative at the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute, noting that the lack of adequate resources resulted in some young people not being able to participate in the program.
when the doors open this July for registration at BTVI. The 1,000 available spaces for candidates wishing to study at that institution were oversubscribed by over 500 students. That means for the 1,000 positions that were available, over 1,500 had applied. And that's just, Mr. Speaker, in New Providence and Grand Bahama. Does not count the many other family islands.
Deputy Leader of the Progressive Liberal Party and Member of Parliament for Exuma and Ragged Island, Chester Cooper, threw his support behind the bill but said he had a number of concerns about it.
The absence of economic studies to support the path to this supposed fiscal balance is most concerning. The bill arbitrarily locks us into targets without offering data and analysis to support this. In the absence of this data, the Parliament could be asked to push the country into a deeper recession. The government also needs to be clear on which deficit target they are now adopting.
Well, still ahead tonight, the Director General of Tourism talks about the prospect for the Grand Lucayan Resort. And 2 Abaconians arrested during a sting operation appear in court today. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, your news leader.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the new Shell and Lettuce, designed for extra miles.
This is the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. This is Commonwealth Bank. And no matter how, no matter where, no matter what, Commonwealth Bank is here for you. Commonwealth Bank. Everything we do it for you.
My name is Jeff Andrews. I'm a self-employed chartered accountant. Well, I had been listening to all the advertisements for Alive for quite a while and kept saying, I need to make the switch, I need to make the switch. Somebody finally convinced me to do the concierge service and switch over. They came and met with me, they let me know what I needed up front so that the whole process was very painless and took probably less than 20 minutes. I really like that we get regular service, I don't have drop calls or interruptions. The only time I have problems are when there's problems with the other carrier. I find the customer service people are very helpful. I haven't had a need to use them very often, but they check on me on a regular basis and make sure that I'm happy with all the services that I'm receiving. I would and have recommended Alive to lots of other people, including all of my family members. They've all joined Alive and are very happy with the services as well.
Wicked geniuses are not limited by their budget. They eat the foods they crave because they've discovered the KFC Everyday Value menu. Be a wicked genius and enjoy a great everyday value option for as little as $2, $3, or $4, including VAT. Choose from the Colonel's fries, snack wraps, and famous bowls. Or try a one-piece chicken $5 fill-up for just $5, including VAT. Show your genius today at KFC Nassau. It's finger-licking good.
Home is more than where the heart is. Home is where the children feel safe. A place where family comes first. Come home today with a BOB residential mortgage. Enjoy attractive rates with up to 25 years to repay. Or use the equity in your home to fund home improvements or other worthwhile needs. Isn't it time you came home to a place of your own? Talk with us today. BOB, your bank of solutions.
Hey, miss, this true? Pop the top is back?
Yes, sir, and bigger and better than ever.
Collect. The Bear of the Bahamas is giving you the chance to win $30,000 and tons of free bear with the 30th anniversary Pop the Top promotion. Here's how you can win free bear or the $30,000 grand prize. Just buy, collect, Pop the Top, and check your caps to see if you've won. Select bars, liquor stores, and all 700 wines and spirits stores are Pop the Top redemption centers where you can present your caps and get your free collect bear instantly. To win the $30,000 grand prize, collect 6. Enter to win $30,000 caps. Place your caps in a Pop the Top envelope and complete the information requested. Then submit your entry in any Pop the Top Dropbox, block party, or the Pop the Top bus for your chance to win $30,000. Let's celebrate Bahamian and 30 years of the Bear of the Bahamas. Collect Pop the Top 30th anniversary. Celebrate responsibly.
This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Disney Cruise Lines plans to create an international destination at Lighthouse Point in Eleuthera, which they say will sustain the island's natural beauty while celebrating Bahamian culture. Disney Cruise Lines representatives are making it clear that their plan will protect the environment and strengthen the community. Our DeAndre Williamson spoke with them.
Disney Cruise Line officials are answering questions as to why the proposed project for Lighthouse Point in South Eleuthera is beneficial for the island's economy. President Jeff Bally says the company plans to invest $350 to $400 million in the property.
Our proposal is one that we just want people to hear the facts. And we think this is going to be a decision that's made by the Bahamian people. And when they make that decision, we want it to be made with the facts. We believe we have a contract on the land. We have funding established by the Disney company to develop the land immediately. And we have a history of being able to do this.
Currently, Disney Cruise Line has a direct contribution of $40 million in the Bahamian economy and has invested millions in Castaway Cay. Disney is expanding its fleet to accommodate the development at Lighthouse Point, and because of this, cruise ship visitor arrivals are expected to increase.
Disney Cruise visitor arrivals will roughly double with this expansion to Lighthouse Point. We'll continue the cruises that are in Castaway today. We will increase the stops to Nassau by 40%, and we'll add 200 to 250 stops in Lighthouse Point.
With this project, Disney plans to provide 150 jobs for Bahamians. Once the project is completed, Bahamians will have free access to Lighthouse Point.
Are you going to give access to other people to these areas that are sensitive and important to the people of that island? The point itself, Lighthouse Point, is an area that we've committed not to develop, and we also won't provide access to our cruise guests. So it's just another piece for people to understand.
While the project promises to provide more than 170 acres of the privately owned land to the government for conservation, there are persons who oppose Disney's development. CEO of One Eleuthera Foundation, Sean Ingram, says his organization has a better plan for Lighthouse Point, providing more jobs than Disney proposes.
Disney is coming in for comparative advantage, meaning they're coming in to make money. Our model on the social enterprise, on the One Eleuthera, what we've done from now to then, puts all benefits, all profits back into the local community, 100% back into the local community. And that's something no other foreign investor can say today.
100 construction jobs will also be provided, and only 20% of the property will be developed for low-density uses like beach chairs, umbrellas, and small support structures.
We will develop this property using sustainable building practices. We're still looking through exactly what that will look like, but most notably is the use of solar power. We're in the process of increasing our use of solar power up to 70% of our needs in Castaway. We are also looking at the development of an open trestle pier that requires little to no dredging and that allows the ocean currents to flow through much more naturally than a traditional pier design.
If the project is approved by the government, it is expected to be completed by 2022 or early 2023. DeAndre Williamson, ZNS Network News.
With the Grand Lucayan property in Grand Bahama now in the hands of government, Director General in the Ministry of Tourism, Joy Jiberlu, says officials are poised to put all of its resources behind what it takes to market the island.
Now that the government is
owns this baby. It's all of our baby. And it's incumbent upon all of us to ensure that she grows and she grows healthily. We know that Lighthouse Point is open, and we've already got our marketing resources behind Lighthouse Point and, in fact, the island of Grand Bahama. But that will, of course, now be expanded as we listen for government's plans for the rest of the property. But we're poised, we're ready, we're working with the whole team that we have and about to unlaunch whatever is needed for Grand Bahama.
Now, Jibril says she's confident that once the government outlines its plans for the property, it'll ensure that sufficient airlift to and from the destination is secured. She noted how American Airlines has already seen the potential in Grand Bahama and have made additional flights to its itinerary come December.
We have great partnerships with our legacy airline carriers. And in partnership, they have assured us that when Grand Bahama is ready, when the numbers are there, when the hotels are open, they're on standby to begin increasing airlift to the destination.
Now, the Director General also notes that the Bahamas is poised to be the destination of choice for meetings, incentives, conferences, and other events. She says one of those reasons is the country's proximity to the U.S. Noting the huge growth potential in this market and the positive results, the Director General has confirmed that efforts have been ramped up to push more business in that area. In fact, next week, the Bahamas will host the State of the Tourism Industry Conference, which is the largest Caribbean tourism conference on the calendar.
People are blown away by all the meeting spaces that are available, so both at Bahamar and Atlantis. But I want to take it further. We're finding that our family islands are also proving popular for group business. Bimini at the Hilton, they have capacity for small meetings. People love it because it ticks all the boxes. They can have meetings in a space that overlooks this beautiful water, but they have the fishing, the diving, and everything else that goes with it. Exuma is also proving to be popular. Grand Bahama's always been popular, and their group, their meeting facilities have always been open, and we continue to push business there.
A couple arraigned in the magistrate's court this afternoon on firearm and ammunition charges. 37-year-old Jamaican national Neil Quarry and his wife, who is 5 months pregnant, 32-year-old Bahamian Rosalind Quarry of Spring City, Abaco, both pleaded not guilty to the charges. Police allegedly discovered an unlicensed 9mm firearm and live rounds of ammunition in their possession 2 days ago. Both defendants were remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections. The case is adjourned to December 4th. Meantime, police in Long Island are looking into the circumstances surrounding a traffic death there. Reports are that just after 2 p.m. Wednesday, a male was driving a blue 2008 Honda Accord in the area of Mackenzie Hill, Hard Bargain, when he lost control of the vehicle and crashed into a concrete wall. Medical personnel rushed to the scene but were unable to revive him. Traffic officers are expected to travel to Long Island to conduct further investigations. Well, on Tuesday, ZNS News aired a story by Dr. Derek Pinder, a neuropathic practitioner, who claimed that he's seeing a great correlation between prostate cancer in men and the combination of eating conch salad and drinking the beverage Guinness. He said the beer has a chemical and the conch an enzyme, which when combined, he believes seems to contribute to prostate cancer. Well, he did not provide any data to support this belief. A number of doctors have contacted ZNS News disputing Dr. Pinder's claims. And with no evidence to back up Dr. Pinder's claims, ZNS News hereby apologizes to our viewers and Commonwealth Brewery, the distributor of the beverage Guinness, for allowing the airing of such a claim. ZNS News sincerely apologizes to our viewers and sponsors who may have been offended. In other news, Director of the University of the West Indies School of Clinical Medicine and Research, Dr. Robin Roberts, saying that there is no correlation between consuming conch salad and Guinness that results in prostate cancer. He also stressed the importance of verifying information before stating it as fact.
You know, we have to be very careful with someone who has a feeling and a curiosity of what they think is happening when there is no medical evidence whatsoever to substantiate the claims that they're making to be. As I'm aware, there is no literature before that talks about the association between conch or Guinness and prostate cancer. So if one feels that that might be so, then I think it's prudent to do the research first and then come forward and make the claims. So I think that to make such a claim, I think, can be very dangerous because it might make people change a habit or become fearful of something that really doesn't exist.
Now, Dr. Roberts instead indicates what clinical research shows as potential causes of prostate cancer.
That there is something in the genes of black men that makes them predisposed to getting prostate cancer. The relationship are very similar to women who have breast cancer in the Bahamas. We realize that we have foundation genes which give us the highest incidence of breast cancer in the Caribbean, in fact, in the world. And those and similar genes are found related to prostate cancer. So there's no doubt that in our country that there is something fundamental in our genes that predisposes us to have prostate cancer. There's much more conclusive evidence, however, that the amount of fat in our diet has much to do with prostate cancer.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Amajal Knowles. The Bahamas Financial Services Board hosted its 19th annual general meeting yesterday. The acting Prime Minister of the Honorable Peter Turnquest updating attendees on the status of our international initiatives. He told delegates that as a part of the extensive political advocacy undertaken to remove the Bahamas from the blacklist, the government of the Bahamas made a commitment to address and resolve concerns by the December 31st, 2018 deadline. The government, he said, has engaged actively and constructively with European authorities with respect to the implementation of measures to address these concerns in line with the country's position as a fully cooperative jurisdiction. The islands of the Bahamas will host this year's State of the Tourism Industry Conference at the Atlantis Paradise Island Resort, October 1st through the 5th. Members of the Bahamas Ministry of Tourism and Aviation will lead this year's conference, which is themed Rejuvenate, Recreate, and Reconnect. New directions for Caribbean tourism. The Bahamas, a leader in the region and tourism industry, will be the gathering point for industry professionals, policymakers, and strategic partners during the week of events and discussions surrounding the key issues and opportunities for enhancing tourism in the region. In international business news, BMW has unveiled its vision for a self-driving electric crossover SUV, and if it actually ends up being a lot like the concept version, it should be a pretty cozy place to hang out. BMW Vision and Next is a concept vehicle for now. The BMW executive said they plan to put something like it into production in 2021. And that's been your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Amajal Knowles.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
The largest Caribbean tourism conclave is happening in the islands of the Bahamas come October 1st through 5th. The State of the Tourism Industry Conference, better known as SOTIC, is a meeting of the minds for tourism ministers, directors, executives, and stakeholders.
The exciting thing about SOTIC is that it keeps evolving. This year, for example, as we consider the striking realities facing the sector, not least of which are extreme climate phenomena, political and economic realisms at home and abroad, and the even more rapid rise in technological developments, we are rethinking travel and tourism in the Caribbean. We will explore concepts and models to expand beyond traditional tourism boundaries into entirely new frontiers.
Director General of Tourism Joy Gibberlou encouraged young people to be a part of the conference to experience Caribbean Tourism Youth Congress, where Junior Minister of Tourism Kalia Richard will take on others in the region.
We're ensuring that from university level straight through to high schools, and I can imagine that there's going to be a keen interest from all the schools that always participate in the Junior Minister of Tourism competition, because they get to see firsthand what the students will be aspiring to and get a taste of what the competition is like.
Officials say SOTIC, which is being held at Atlantis Paradise Island, is a worthwhile experience for the islands of the Bahamas, as droves of international media will attend the conference. Persons interested in registering for the conference can visit sotic.onecaribbean.org. I'm Candia Smith, and this is Tourism Today.
Don't miss the CBS Bahamas Plumbing and Electrical Sale. There's no better time to replace sinks and faucets or get a new shower head. And it's the perfect time to upgrade your lights. Shop now and get 20% off plumbing and electrical supplies at CBS Bahamas Southwest Plaza, Carmichael Road. Sale ends September 30th.
You can't count on me. Just call me and I'll come right.
My first memory of music would have been a performance when everyone was singing the song. The song was drop down and come up slow, and everyone in the crowd was singing. I was amazed. I was in shock.
I did not always want to be a performer, I actually wanted to be a doctor. And when I was on my way to med school, I had this little epiphany, and I went to Berklee College of Music, and that's when I made the switch.
If I weren't singing, I'd be singing. I love track and field.
Many different things inspire me. It isn't anything specific. It's just, just enjoying the environment. And that's what I think music should be about, being free.
Tap of a button, I'm able to get in contact with persons all the way across the world. Technology acts as that bridge that keeps me connected.
ETC in one word, I would have to say clutch.
Connected family.
Family.
Every day.
Well, Bahamians love to shake a leg, as we say, and there are tons of groups who can provide that experience for us, but perhaps none as inspirational as the Rhythm and Youth Band, a group of little people, the youngest just 3 years old, who make a big and enjoyable sound. Well, tonight we're lucky because they're here on the set with us to give us a little something on the side. We're going to talk now with their leader, Nathaniel Adams, pardon me. So tell me about the group. They've been around for, we're approaching six years now. Yes. Tell me about how they got started and what's happening with you now.
Well, actually, the program started in 2009 at Gerald Cash Primary School. And then as they graduated, we realized that we needed a program for them to still be a part of even after they graduated. And so we started a private organization where kids, even from other schools, can be a part of it. And it has grown immensely since then. Now, Rake and Scrape is really an old school thing. I think back to the Family Island, somewhere in Cat Island, a group of old men sitting around raking the straw, but you've gotten young people to get excited about it. Yes. Well, it's really just practice. I imagine when we first started, it was just supposed to be for, those special assemblies, but it ended up exploding into something even greater. I did Rake and Scrape as a child with my dad, who's also a teacher. He had a band at C.I. Gibson, and so I just wanted to carry that on when I became a teacher as well. What does this mean for the personal development of members? Well, actually, this program is more than just about music. It's about discipline and even just professionalism on stage and everything. It builds their self-esteem, and the fact that we travel and perform at different venues really builds them as a person as well. And you're headed off soon? Yes, we are. We're going to Norfolk, Virginia for the Virginia Children's Festival. All right. Yeah, and we're going to be starting and ending the program. There's going to be other groups from China and Ireland that are going to be there as well, and so we are very, very excited to have that opportunity. Well, I can't wait to hear what you're going to bring, so I'll let you take your seat and take it away. Indeed. All right. Ready? Grab these all. 5, 6, 7, 8.
was so good. Let me just get you back in here for 10 seconds. So you're going off to this group. What's in the year ahead for you?
Say once again?
What's in the year ahead for you?
Oh, well, this year, we're indeed getting ready to, so we just started the year, and then afterwards, we have a few trips to the Family Islands. We normally do Eleuthera, we normally do San Salvador, Cat Island sometimes, sorry.
And this takes your breath away, right?
It does. Yeah, but other than that, just the program itself, and we want to do a little bit of recording as well.
All right, thanks a lot for looking in. We thoroughly enjoyed that. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, stay tuned. There's more news to come. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
Free, reliable, anytime, anywhere, and instant. That's the benefits of using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more. Enjoy the freedom of banking on your own terms. Why wait in line? Save time. Do your banking using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean to find out more.
What do breakfast, lunch, and dinner plus all the snacks in between have in common? Well, they all start with the weekly specials at Super Value and quality supermarkets. First Choice Sugar 4-pound bag, $1.99. Whole chicken wings, $1.59 per pound. Cardinal Cream, large can, 99 cents. Quaker Oats, 18-ounce size, $2.79. Gala apples, 4 for $1. Tofayan bagels, 20-ounce pack, $1.89. Great meals begin at Super Value and quality supermarkets.
We've all got plans for our golden years. Unfortunately for many, this may just be wishful thinking. To generate an annual income in retirement of $70,000 for 20 years at a rate of return of 5%, with inflation running at 3%, requires more than $1.1 million. So how do you save that much money? Many companies provide a group pension plan to help their employees by deducting an amount each month from their pay to contribute to the plan. Personal Pension Plan, or PPP, is similar to a group plan, but offered only to individuals. These plans offer many of the same benefits and features. Contact us for more information on pensions.
Move forward, Bahamas, and build high into the sky. Move upward and colorize those new walls. Move onward and build a garden to last a lifetime. Move together and settle into that new home. There's a lot of places you can do it for yourself, but there's one place to do it right. Builders Mall. We know exactly what motto you live by, and even the pros know building is just a part of what we do. So move forward, Bahamas. And remember, you can find it all at Builders Mall.
Life happens, and when it does, FG Insurance Agents and Brokers is here. We help you protect the assets you've worked hard to attain. We offer home, auto, marine, commercial, and liability insurance. Don't hesitate to protect what matters with FG Insurance Agents and Brokers. Visit us and speak to your agent today, or call us at 396-1490 in Nassau or 688-1500 in Freeport.
Introducing the Subway Simple 6 menu. 6 of our best 6-inch subs, now and made just for you meals for just $7.50 every day. Take your pick from our best subs, like the Italian PMT, tender turkey breast, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, and more. Pile them high with all of your favorite veggies, made just the way you say. With a 21-ounce drink and a bag of chips. The new Simple 6 menu is value made simple every day. Yeah, you so got it made. Subway, eat fresh.
The performance speaks for itself. Pennzoil Synthetics, made from natural gas. Make the switch.
What if you looked in the mirror and saw something different? A small difference, a big difference. What if that difference changed your life forever? What if it caused you to question your beauty? Your body may change, a small change, a big change, but your life is defined by your interior. not your exterior. I felt, I called, I tested, I acted. I won. I am the cure, a living story of survival. Be the cure. Live the life you love and love the life you live. At 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center, your life matters.
All right, it's time now for a first check of weather. We check in with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Hey there, Baz.
Hi, Keisha. We're taking a look right now at a portion of downtown and overlooking the harbor as well, and pretty nice weather conditions out there with some scattered clouds. But right now, we're going to take a look at temperatures around the Family of Islands, and they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. It is 86 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green, Tulkey, and Abaco, also Marsh Harbor at 86 degrees. The Berry Islands, 84. Allenstown, Bimini, 85. 81 degrees here in the capital. Harbor Island, 84. 84 in Rock Sound, Eleuthera, Otterstown, Cat Island, 84. 84 is also in Staniel, Key, Kemp Space, Old Andros, Fresh Creek in Central Andros. More 74s in San Salvador, Rum Key, and Georgetown. Exuma, Clarenstown, Long Island, 83. Also Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Maguana, Acklands, Ragged Island, Matthewtown, and Niagara, all at 83 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands reporting 82 degrees. Boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Pink Center. In the Northwestern Islands, tonight through Saturday, you can expect an easterly flow at 10 to 15 knots, 12 to 18 knots, pardon me, wave heights 3 to 5 feet with a moderate chop. The high tide, well, that will take place at 9:11 tonight, low tide at 9:36 tomorrow morning. And for the Central and Southeastern Islands, right into Saturday, easterly winds as well, 15 to 20 knots, rough sea conditions 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. So small craft in the Central and Southeast Bahamas, well, your exercise caution right into Saturday. And your travel forecast tonight is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
The man in a boat passing through. Now what you gonna do? The man in a boat passing through. Now what don't care if you're the golden or not passing through. What? Now what you gonna do? The man in a boat passing through. Now what you gonna do? I wine on something. Wine up on something. Shake up on something. Wine up on something. Now dance up on something. Wine up on something. Shake up on something. Wine up on something. Cause it's real. Got the time. Time to join the line. Time to lose your mind. Cause it's homecoming time. Man, if your car break down, see the jitney coming now. So time to wine around. Cause we got to start it now. The man in a boat.
And that's going to do it for your travel forecast brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. Your extended weather forecast is coming up in about 15 minutes.
Welcome to Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. For some people, asthma is a minor nuisance. For others, it can be a major problem that interferes with daily activities and may lead to a life-threatening asthma attack. Asthma is a condition in which your airways narrow and swell and produce extra mucus. This can make breathing difficult and trigger coughing, wheezing, and shortness of breath. Asthma symptoms range from minor to severe and vary from person to person. Asthma signs and symptoms include shortness of breath, chest tightness or pain, trouble sleeping caused by shortness of breath, coughing, or wheezing, a whistling or wheezing sound when exhaling. Wheezing is a common sign of asthma in children. Coughing or wheezing attacks that are worsened by a respiratory virus such as the cold or the flu. For some people, asthma symptoms flare up in certain situations, like when exercising or doing physical activity in the workplace where chemicals, gases, or dust can be irritants, and asthma can be triggered by allergies. If you have been diagnosed with asthma or suspect you may have asthma, please see your doctor regularly, and your condition can be monitored and treated. Severe asthma attacks can be life-threatening. Work with your doctor ahead of time to determine what to do when your signs and symptoms worsen and when you need emergency treatment. This has been Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Live your best life by living well.
Looking to upgrade your refrigerator, stove, or purchase an affordable home generator? We've got the perfect solution for you. Bahamas Welding and Fire is the best choice for the lowest prices in town. We carry top-of-the-line outdoor barbecue grills, air conditioners, refrigerators, stoves, generators, industrial hardware, and garden supplies with a wide assortment of tools and accessories. Open Monday through Saturday. Telephone 394-0004. BWF. We're more than just our name.
No matter what your goals are in life, you have to start somewhere. It all begins with Leno. Leno, bridging possibilities. Call us at 396-3225 or email info@lenobahamas.com.
Every island and every key. Keep in touch with everybody. It's BTC every day. Every day, every day, every day. Every day is a
It's all about enhancing the customer experience here at BTC. And with us right now is Michael, who's going to tell us about some other features that we do here.
Yes, so like Tori would have mentioned, sometimes we use our diagnostics device as well. That can help with identifying problems with customers' devices that maybe we either have seen but we need verification on, or pick up on stuff, say crashes within the device that we technically can't see but the device keeps records of. It also allows us to transfer information from one device to another. So let's say we do find a problem and, we need to replace your phone. Then what we do, we get you your new phone, we transfer your information for you, as much of it as possible, all your contacts, all your pictures, your videos, your ringtones if possible, a number of stuff. And we put that on your new device. So you walk out of here without really feeling any pain.
All right, so Michael, go ahead and also tell us about the MyBTC feature.
Okay, so we also have a MyBTC app. It's also on our website, so if you go to btcbahamas.com and click the MyBTC in the top right-hand corner, you'll get to it as well. But it allows you to link your accounts. It could be prepaid, postpaid, landline, IPTV, pretty much the whole gambit of things. Or if you're postpaid, that allows you to actually track your usage for your calls, your texting, your data, and also pay your bills. So let's say postpaid, landline, anything like that, you can definitely pay your bills and keep a track of how much you owe without having to come inside the store or call anybody or anything like that. You can do all that on the go.
every island and every key. Keep in touch with everybody. It's BTC every day. Every day, every day, every day. Every day is
There's a lot to like about Solomon's. The quality of our stores, the quality of our products, and of course, the savings. You'll find thousands of items every time you shop at everyday low prices on a wide variety of trusted brands. So you can save money almost everywhere that you look, giving you one more reason to like us. Shop Solomon's for everyday low prices.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. Team Bahamas left today for Tobago and the Carifta Triathlon Championships. Angela Knowles and Talia Bowe, both part of that team, and they spoke with our Kelsey Johnson.
Swimming works with a lot of muscles, and running and cycling is almost the same. And most swimmers have great thighs, so running and the cycling is easy for me.
Monday, my best friend told me about it, and she asked me to do it with her. And after that, I started to enjoy it.
So what is your most favorite part of it?
Probably the swimming, because I have loved swimming since I started it when I was really young at the age of 3, and I'm just passionate about it.
So how do you get into the running and the cycling part of it?
Once you come out of the water, you just start to run and you transition to putting on your helmet and things like that.
Was it difficult getting out of the water, putting on your helmet, making sure that you don't lose any time?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, when I was getting out the water, I accidentally fell at one point, and when I was trying to put on my helmet, it would not Buckle.
If you have to improve on one particular part of the event, which one will it be?
It's cycling because I just learned how to ride a bike a couple months ago, and then practice, and then I went in my first triathlon. I did fall down a few times, but the second one was better after lots of practice, so the cycling.
So how does it feel making the Carifta team?
I'm excited, and it's something else that I get to do, and not a lot of people get to do it because of money-wise, and not all people are athletic like me.
How do you think you're going to do when you head down in Tobago?
I believe in myself. I'm going to try to do my best, but as long as my family and friends are with me, I believe I'm going to do great.
Mixed results for Team Bahamas on day 4 of the Chess Olympiad in the Republic of Georgia. Our ladies team won 3 of the 4 points against Palau, thanks to women's candidate master Deja Johnson, Antoinette Seymour, and Erica Seymour. The news not so good for our open team. They failed to get on the board against Andorra. Next up for our ladies tomorrow in round 5 will be Paraguay. The open squad takes on Uganda. Trios on the lanes today at the Pan American Bowling Federation's Women's Championship in the Dominican Republic. Driscoll Roll, Janice Hoyt, and Tara Johnson teamed together. They finished 14th in the 17-team field, 3,129 pins and a 174 average. Some bad luck for the other Bahamian side as Camille Roll was unavailable after blowing out her knee during the doubles competition yesterday. Marina McLean and Zania Johnson would end up with 1,996 pins and a 111 average. The team competition will bring the event to a close tomorrow. Individually, after singles, doubles, and trios, Driscoll still the top Bahamian in 31st place, 3,449 pins and a 192 average. The Government Basketball League Best of 3 first-round playoffs continuing last night at the AF Adderley Gym. The 6th-seeded Department of Correction Challengers got off to a fast start in the feature game against the 3rd-seeded Police Royals, but the Royals proved it's not how you start, but how you finish. Royals win big 97-71, and they will look to close out the series on Saturday night. As for last night's opener, the situation much the same. The 7th-seeded Police Crime Stoppers, they hung around early with the 2nd-seeded Cybots, but down the stretch, the Cybots showed their championship pedigree, putting away Game 1 85-69, and they too go after the sweep on Saturday.
We just came out docile. We didn't want to come out and take these guys for granted, you know. As you've seen in the past 2 series, you know, the underdogs actually won the game, or they was actually close. So we come out trying to make a statement, the guys, they fought.
Yeah, the playoff is tough, but everybody start 0-0. So it's the best team who come out to play on that night gets the game, but we start off good the first 2 quarters, but I think fatigue played a major part.
To go along with their win last night, the Cybots also received their championship rings from last season. For Coach Wade Watson, the feeling never gets old.
It's always good when you could play and accomplish the maximum of the league. So yeah, I've won the rings before, but every ring feels differently, you know. And the design is always different. So you know, it motivates you to continue to go. It motivates the guys to continue to play. So it's an excellent reward. Because remember back in the early 2000s, we used to get trophies, you know. Trophies that don't last that long, but these rings last forever.
Sonny Miller is the president of the Government Basketball League, and he says despite a slight hiccup when the gym was unavailable near the end of the regular season, the level of competition has not dropped off.
I think this year is set to be the most balanced year in a very long time. We have teams 1 through 8. Any one of those teams can come out on top. Like I said, there's no clear-cut favorite. France support seem to be good, and we know during this period, France support definitely going to pick up.
Of late, more of corporate Bahamas has come on board to sponsor teams, and we can tell you some may say that takes away from it being a real government league. And while Miller may agree to some extent, he says that's just the way it has to be for the time being.
I guess because of the cost, what happened is coaches and players decide to go and get outside sponsors because I believe most government agencies and stuff are cutting back. And there's nothing in the Constitution that prohibits that from happening. But I'd like to see the day where these government agencies, where we can come together as brotherhood again. We want to see the teachers take a day off and come to the gym. We want to see the defense force officers be here, the police officers be here. Oh, definitely the prison officers have this place full. The airport Sport Authority seem to be full in the gym as well. But we want to see other agencies like the Ministry of Finance, Customs. Basically, most of our fans come from the young men who play on Park League or Night League or something. But we want those government employees back with us.
The Providence Volleyball Association back on court last night at the Donald Davis Gym. While the defenders had an easy time with the Lady Techs winning in straight sets, there's still some work to do.
In the first set, we had a lot of errors, a lot of serving errors, hitting errors. I think in the second set, we kind of buckled down on it a bit, but we still had a lot of errors. And then the third set, we kind of capitalized on the errors, and we had less hitting errors. We got more serves in. I think our defense could be tighter, especially when we have tougher teams to play defense. It'll really come down to defense at the end of the day.
The BAISS softball season making a stop on Jean Street yesterday as the Charles W. Saunders Cougars junior girls played host to the Queen's College Comets. This game went right down to the wire, but in the end, it would be the Cougars pitching and defense holding on in the bottom of the final inning for a 10-9 victory.
Boy, it was rough, you know, but through the grace of God, we made it through. We had a little bit of issues with the pitching, you know, this being our first game. The girls been on a long vacation, and they were a little bit over-anxious.
This is our first game, and first time for some of the players on the field. We didn't get the feel to gel together properly, but this is a learning experience and an error that will never happen again. I feel as if it was a good game. Charles W. Saunders is a competitive team, and 2 years ago they did win the championship and they were undefeated, and I feel as if we put in more work and if we didn't make as much mistakes that we could have came out on top.
I feel that we made some mistakes and this was a learning experience, but I know that with some hard work we can make it to championship.
We still have one of the strongest programs in the BAISS, but all around talent has declined. But I'm looking for great things from this team. Okay, we have a lot of seasoned ball players, a lot of new ball players that are seasoned, so we're looking to go get the whole hog.
Kevin Major Jr. losing in the opening round of the main draw of the Los Cabos Futures Tennis Classic in California yesterday. This one went the three-set distance with American Gofan Nadan coming out on top 6-4, 4-6, and 6-4. And that will do it for sports. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
You see me? I love online shopping, and when I heard of Welty.com, I said, wow, what do they have to offer?
Welty.com provides me with everything I need, like hair, perfumes, furniture for my mom, anything I can think of.
Visit Welty.com today for all your favorite products, like hair, clothes, fragrances, and furniture. You can see the overall cost, layaway, and pay the remaining balance later.
Huh? Welty.com? Duh.
Welty.com. Make life easy.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
We'll be with you through new beginnings and sunset endings, through toil and many tears, through the joys and many fears. For all of life's ever-changing moments, trust J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers for all of your insurance needs. J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
Edie's is back in the Bahamas. Can you say yay? Rich, delicious flavors are coming your way. Made with fresh milk and cream, nothing artificial. Edie's is back. Find it at your favorite food store.
Clean clothes for the family, uniforms for the baby, suit for mommy and daddy. We want you to press and clean this simple. If you wanna look fly and you wanna look clean, if you wanna look fresh, better than all the rest. Bring on your church clothes and all your work clothes. Bring on your cheering clothes.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, Kirk is now moving through the Windward Island with maximum sustained winds of 50 miles per hour. But once it gets into the Caribbean Sea, we expect some weakening to take place over the next day and a half. And then there's Leslie still hanging out there in the north central Atlantic. It has a very good chance of developing into a subtropical storm, possibly a tropical cyclone either later tonight or tomorrow morning, but no problem to land for Leslie. And then on the home front, we still have some scattered showers moving from east to west across the northwest Bahamas. Just had a recent shower here at the studios. And outside, we're looking at partly cloudy conditions tonight with showers and isolated thunderstorms remaining in the area. It's low temperature getting down to 78 degrees. And tomorrow, partly sunny, hot again with a moderate breeze and isolated showers again popping up in the afternoon. High temperature tomorrow, 88 degrees, heat index around 101. And the extended weather forecast for the next 7 days, a few showers heading right into Saturday morning. Things will dry out a bit. And then come Sunday, a much better day on Sunday, and as we go into the early part of next week, an abundance of sunshine and those temperatures, well, you notice they're starting to just hang around in the upper 80s, so slowly they're getting down to more reasonable and comfortable levels.
Now you have a very personal birthday.
Absolutely. My youngest son, his birthday today, Dominic, well, should I tell you? 29 years old. That's my baby.
That's the number. It's just a number, 29.
Just a number.
Just a number. All right, that does it for us in the Bahamas tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, thanks so much for looking in. Have a good night, everyone.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station. This program is made possible by the sponsorship of BTC and viewers like you. Thank you.